Dana. My company is Dana Faith. I'm the owner and designer. I started my company. Wow, it's been a while. 2003, I was still working at Vera Wang in design. I think at that time I was consulting and I started making jewelry. It was all through my Buddhist practice. It kind of just came up.
Where does your inspiration come from?
Well, my love for nature. I love nature, the ocean. I mean, my opal ring, I'm just inspired by a lot of color, even though I tend to wear a lot of black, but my jewelry is more colorful. I'm inspired by people, my customers, the connection. For me, it's all about the connection. So that's where all my inspiration comes from. One of my line of jewelry that I did, one of my lines of jewelry that I did few years back, and I still make some of the same pieces. It was actually like a freak accident. I'm walking down the street in New York City and the lines on the grates, they're all just very like straight and perfect. I'm like, ooh, kind of like that reminded me of it was based on ancient female warriors, this line. And so those lines that I saw on the grates reminded me of our power and our strength. And then the diamonds that I use represent our femininity. So it kind of pulled it all together. So that was kind of interesting. That just happened out of nowhere for me. So
Wow, that's really nice. So what do you still sell that line or is that
yes,
something you sold?
I
Oh,
do. Because my line is it's smaller. So I still have it on my website. People still order them. Yeah, it's the the line that's based on ancient female warriors. So you'll see like the ring, it's like the warrior ring, the Razzia ring. Razzia was an ancient female warrior. So um I tried to name them based on ancient female warriors. It was interesting.
nice. It really is.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a really nice line.
Um, so share a little bit about what goes into creating a line for you, for
Yeah.
you.
Well, for me personally, sometimes I just come up with ideas. Sometimes I'll be even making something and it'll morph into something totally different. And that inspires me. And then I just kind of keep going with it. Normally, when I do come up with ideas or like a concept, I'll sketch everything out. And after I sketch and figure it all out, and I go to the jewelry district. I go to all my people and they work together with me and they help me find all the materials that I need. And then normally I'll come back. I work from my home right now. So yeah, I'm with my kids at home all the time. So it's a little crazy here, but it's good.
That's nice.
I
Well,
know, it's really nice.
so when you say you go and you get your materials,
Yeah.
are there particular materials that you like working with that you feel represent your creativity and your lines
Yeah,
the
sure. I
best?
mean, normally I love working with like fine jewelry. I didn't start with fine jewelry. I started more with the gold fill, sterling silver. And this is actually from the gold fill line. This is one of my best sellers. We'll talk about that later. I know the signature heart, but I do love working with solid gold. It's just nicer. And I love working with all the stones, all the pretty colors, rubies, of course, diamonds. That's for my fine line. So, and then the line, the demi fine line, which is not totally fine, gold fill, sterling silver, that I do with all like the semi-precious stones. I work a
Yeah.
lot with my hands, so when I am working with the fine metal, I have to be extra careful anyway, but I do a lot of hand wire work. That tends to more be the gold fill, where people just order the gold fill when I do the hand twisted jewelry, the hearts, the names, and that's easier because it's a little softer also to use. Yeah.
I was going to ask with when you were saying with the fill or the wire fill, is that
Gold
that's
fill.
what you call it, gold
Gold
fill?
fill.
Let's talk about the mommy daughter collection. We might as well
Sure.
because I think it's so beautiful. I love how big it is. Because a lot of
Yeah.
times you see the smaller hearts.
Yeah, so this is the large heart. I mean, I'm out of frame, but yes, this lands like at 27 inches. Excuse my finger. I slammed my finger in the door on my birthday and now it's black and
Okay.
blue. Don't mind that. Yeah, so this is 27 inches long. These are all made by hand by me, actually. I don't have anybody else making them. It's a little insane, yeah. So I have to figure that out. I'm very particular, especially with the hearts. I had some people helping me at one point. It just didn't really work out. So right now I'm just doing them on my own because I make the frame by hand and then I go in and wire. So no two pieces ever come out the same. That's what's so beautiful about the piece. That's why it's my bestseller. That's why women love it. They see that nobody else has the same heart as them. Each are
That's amazing. Because
each
I
are
was going
different.
to
No
ask.
two ever come out the same. The shape,
See,
the wiring, it's like it's how we are. Like we might look identical, but there's always something different that sets us apart. An eyebrow, whatever it is. So,
exactly. I love that. I
and then
love that.
I started doing that first, and then other, then my customers would buy for their daughters. They wanted the little hearts, so I started making the little hearts. And then I was like, oh, that should be the mommy knee, and my daughter, would wear it, and we do our little videos together. And so that's kind of how the mommy daughter started. And the moms would buy for their daughters, some of their daughters that are in their 20s, some that are 8 or 9 years old. It just depends. The small heart could be for, women buy that heart as well. So but it's
Exactly.
special. No two people will ever have the same heart ever. So
It's
yeah,
beautiful. That's good
they
to
love that.
know.
My customers love that. They do. They
So
appreciate.
since it's custom made,
Yeah.
since it's custom made, do you do it by order? And like by
Yes. I
order,
mean,
how long does it take?
sometimes I'll have a few pieces in stock, especially if I have shows coming up. But most of my pieces, like I have an order right now. I'm in the middle of making it. So, it could take, if I sit there and don't get up, it'll take 3 hours. It's a long time. That's why I don't have manicured fingers because my nails are always getting messed up. But yeah, or I'll take my time and do it over a few days. And then they'll get it. But no one, unless something's already made, mostly my pieces will take up to 2 weeks. Just to like be done. I always say 2 weeks. It could be 1 week. The fine jewelry, depending on the piece, could take up to three. Custom made could take a month. It just depends. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that sounds. I mean, that's not even long. I was thinking it would take longer than that.
Yeah,
So
I think
I,
because I've also gotten so used to it, and I really know how to do it the right way and not to pull too hard to bend the frame. And the silver is a little different because the silver is even softer than the gold fill, so that sometimes you have to be really careful with. So that could take a little longer.
wow, that's so amazing. Just hearing your process is crazy.
Yeah, it is
So
crazy.
I have on my notes, meaningful, sustainable jewelry. What
I
exactly is that?
know. It's funny because I think everybody uses that name now. It's very trendy, like meaning sustainable. All my metal, it's all recycled, and I guarantee mostly everybody that says theirs is sustainable, meaningful, it's all the gold is recycled, especially the gold that I get. So that I love. My supplier, it's all recycled, but I do think a lot of it is all recycled jewelry, gold, because gold is so hard to get, to find. It's expensive, so a lot of it's recycled. um it lasts a long time. It's all made here in NYC, New York City. I All my pieces are handmade. Nothing's made overseas. Nothing's made by, factories anywhere else. It's all people's fingers, my fingers. So, and it's also meaningful. A lot of my jewelry, like even the heart has meaning. Women love that it's theirs. It represents themselves. I do a lot of different sayings. Someone was needing hope. She's like, can you please make me something with hope? Can you make something that represents my dog that died? Like, I mean, I get this all the time. So, and they come to me, and I love that. And I think it's lovely. Like, I love working with my customers, and I just love making them happy. Yeah.
It's so funny that you say that because I had a necklace that I bought. It was nothing. It wasn't anything. I just got it out of a shop and it said breathe on it.
Oh
And
my
I
God, really?
loved that necklace and it broke
Oh,
again. So I was like,
jewelry does break very easily,
I
especially if it's handmade, unfortunately. But
was, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to you about getting one in gold that just says breathe. Just
that's what I do. So many
you know,
women buy my Breathe necklace. It's crazy. Just
that.
breathe. And I have to tell myself that all the time. Just breathe.
Me too.
Have to breathe. I'm a nervous wreck all the time. So I have to breathe. You forget because breathing
Yeah,
really
yeah.
works. It
Because
really helps
I
me.
find myself like all the time and I'm talking and like, let's bring it down,
Down,
blow it out.
breathe. Yeah.